The first time I lied to my followers, I told myself it was harmless, and in that single moment, the world I built began to rot from its core. Emily said, "They didn't follow me, they followed the ghost I created, and I believe she was real." I felt every like crawl on my skin like insects, every comment weighing like a stone. I saw my reflection under the glow of my ring light, polished and perfect, but hollow, as if the girl staring back wasn't me. Michael said, "You can't keep this mask on forever, it's going to choke you." I laughed then. A sharp sound that bounced off my studio walls, but deep down, the truth scraped at my ribs. Sarah said, "Your empire is built on lies, and lies don't last." I hated her for being right, for seeing the cracks before anyone else. The fans screamed in praise, their love conditional, their hunger insatiable. Olivia whispered, "They don't love you. They love what you give them." I wanted to tear the screen apart, to claw at the glass and scream until the pixels shattered. But I smiled anyway, posting another lie, another seed of destruction. Emily said, "I told them I was happy, but my chest felt like stone." I looked at the lens and smiled, even though silence pressed harder than applause. Michael muttered, "They won't stop until you're nothing but content." His voice was sharp, jagged, but I swallowed it whole. Sarah said, "Stop pretending you're invincible. It's going to eat you alive." I shook my head, lying through my teeth, feeding the machine that fed me back emptiness. Olivia's eyes searched me, tender yet heavy with pity, and I hated her kindness because it felt like a mirror I couldn't escape. The fans howled in praise, digital screams piercing through the dark, and I felt their hunger clawing at me. Emily whispered to herself, "They love the lie." "Not me," Emily said. Every DM I sent, every photo I posted, was a thread pulled loose. I could feel the unraveling even in my sleep, dreams knotted with fear. Michael slammed his hand on the table, growling, "This isn't fame, this is poison." Sarah whispered, almost gleeful, "It's collapsing, and you can't stop it." Olivia shook her head, tears trembling, saying, "I wish they could see you, not her." Emily's smile cracked into pieces, her throat burning with words she couldn't post. Emily said, "Every like was a chain, every comment a shackle." The studio smelled of burnt wires from the ring light, suffocating in stale air. Michael shouted, "Turn it off before it swallows you whole." Sarah leaned close, whispering venom, "You wanted this." Olivia begged softly, "Emily, please stop before you lose yourself." The fans roared in silence through screams, their love burning holes in the fabric of her heart. Emily muttered, "The mask is tighter every day." Emily whispered, "I thought I was in control, but the account controlled me." Michael's fists shook as he shouted, "You're destroying yourself." Sarah sneered, "It's all crumbling and you're still lying." Olivia covered her mouth, unable to watch as Emily's voice trembled. The fans applauded through empty screens, faceless and hungry. Emily thought, "I wanted love, but I sold myself for illusion." Emily said they loved her, not me, and I couldn't breathe when the mask slipped. I walked through my apartment like a stranger in my own life, every room heavy with staged perfection. Michael muttered, "You're crumbling, Emily, and they'll devour your fall." His voice cut through the silence, sharp as broken glass. Sarah leaned against the doorway and sneered, "You wanted this spotlight, don't act surprised by the burn." Olivia whispered, "Emily, please. They'll never forgive the truth, but maybe you can forgive yourself." I scrolled through messages, hearts flooding like an unstoppable tide. The fans screamed my name, faceless shadows reaching for my throat and crown at once. I whispered to myself, "The applause sounds like chains." Emily said, "I thought success would fill the void, but it only grew louder." My phone glowed like a fire in the dark, burning holes into my eyes. Michael slammed his fist on the table and shouted, "You've traded your soul for pixels." Sarah laughed bitterly, saying, "Every lie bought you a throne, but it's built from sand." Olivia reached across the table, whispering, "Please, Emily, let them see you, not her." The fans cheered in comments, their voices echoing like thunder, each word both adoration and poison. I smiled at the screen, the cracks in my mask hidden but bleeding. Emily thought, "The world doesn't see me. They only see the story I invented." Emily whispered, "I was addicted to their love, even when it felt like poison. I couldn't sleep without the sound of notifications buzzing like bees in my skull." Michael said, "This isn't living, this is drowning in false worship." Sarah smirked, "They adore you today. They'll destroy you tomorrow." Olivia sighed, tears slipping down her cheek as she said, "You don't deserve to be eaten alive by strangers." The fans screamed my name like a chant, a cult built on pixels, demanding blood and beauty. Emily thought, "The mask feeds them, but it starves me." Emily said, "The silence between posts was unbearable, like suffocating in a vacuum. I posted lies to keep the noise alive, to drown out my emptiness." Michael shouted, "You're letting them own you, Emily, and it's killing you." Sarah sneered, "You begged for this cage, now dance for your crowd." Olivia cried softly, "Don't let them erase who you are." The fans laughed and cheered, their words slicing into me like glass. I forced another smile. Every pixel, another piece of me gone. Emily whispered, "I am fading, but they only see the glow." Emily said, "Every post was a lie wrapped in filters. Every lie was a noose tightening." Michael leaned over growling, "End it before it ends you." Sarah's voice dripped venom as she said, "You'll collapse in front of them, and they'll cheer for it." Olivia whispered, "I want to save you, but you have to want it too." The fans roared in the distance, their hunger growing, their love conditional. Emily thought, "I sold my truth for their approval, and now I'm bankrupt inside." Emily whispered, "Every lie I told demanded another to cover it, and soon I was drowning in my own stories." Her chest ached as she stared at the glow of her phone, the endless comments clawing at her. Michael shouted, "You're burning yourself alive for people who wouldn't notice if you disappeared." His voice shook the walls, but her hands refused to let go of the device. Sarah sneered, "They'll adore you until the mask slips, then they'll tear you apart." Emily felt rage build, but also despair, because she knew Sarah was right. Olivia whispered, "Emily, you are unraveling thread by thread, and you can't hold yourself together forever." Emily's smile cracked, her lips trembling as she tried to mask her fear with a post. The fans flooded her feed with digital screams, each one feeding her addiction and deepening her chains. Emily thought, "I can't stop, because stopping means they'll see the real me, and the real me is never enough." Emily said, "Even the mirror started lying to me, showing me a stranger I didn't recognize." She touched her reflection, fingertips trembling against cracked glass. Michael muttered, "Stop before the mask buries you alive." His face was sharp with fury, but softened by desperation. Sarah's laugh echoed through the room as she hissed, "The empire is already crumbling, and you're the one swinging the hammer." Emily's stomach turned, her breathing uneven. Olivia whispered, "Emily, even if the world abandons you, you don't have to abandon yourself." But the fans were merciless, their comments cutting like blades, dissecting her every flaw. Emily whispered, "They follow a ghost, not me. And I'm terrified of what happens if I rip her away." Emily thought, "I am fading into an image I cannot escape, becoming nothing but a reflection of their hunger." Emily said, "The mask slipped in public, and they saw the cracks I couldn't hide." Her live stream glitched, her smile faltered, panic flooding her voice. Michael warned, "They'll smell blood, Emily, and they won't stop." His words tightened her fear as her hands shook before the camera. Sarah sneered, "Scandal is sweeter than perfection, and they'll devour your downfall." Olivia whispered, "Stay human, Emily. Don't let them erase you." But the fans swarmed like vultures, commenting on every tremble, every glitch, every flicker of weakness. Emily choked, "I can't keep up this mask, it's strangling me, but I don't know who I am without it." Her chest heaved, breath ragged, the screen a stage she could no longer control. Emily thought, "I am a show for their amusement, and when I collapse, they'll cheer louder than ever." Emily whispered, The silence between posts felt like suffocation, a void that swallowed me whole. Notifications buzzed endlessly, each one tightening the noose. Michael snapped, "Turn it off before it consumes you completely." His fists clenched as he paced the room. Sarah smirked. "Dance, puppet, because the crowd is waiting to see you fall." Emily wanted to scream but forced another smile, fingers shaking as she posed. Olivia begged, "You are more than the numbers on that screen, Emily. Please see yourself." But the fans were merciless, their chants echoing like knives across her feed. Emily cried, "I am fading, a ghost kept alive only by their hunger." Her heart pounded as the room spun around her. Emily thought, "If I stop, I'll vanish. If I continue, I'll shatter completely." Emily said, "Every secret I buried grew heavier, every post another stone tied to my chest." Her hands trembled as she typed, sweat dripping onto the keyboard. Michael shouted, "You're tearing yourself apart piece by piece." His voice cracked with helpless anger. Sarah hissed, "They'll watch you burn and cheer while you turn to ash." Olivia's voice broke as she cried, "Emily, don't let them bury the real you." The fans roared online, a chorus of faceless voices feeding on her unraveling. Emily's lips trembled as she whispered, "I am both puppet and master, and both are breaking." She felt her mask slipping, pieces falling away like shards of glass. Emily thought, "There's nothing left to hold together, only fragments." Emily whispered, "The truth is worse than the lies. I wasn't even the one behind the account anymore." Her voice shook as betrayal carved through her. Michael shouted, "Who's been pulling your strings, Emily?" His anger burned like fire, fists clenched. Sarah smirked, "Maybe you should thank me. I built the ghost they worship." Olivia gasped, "Sarah, you did this? You stole her life for your own gain?" Emily trembled as her chest heaved, realizing she was nothing but a puppet in her own empire. The fans remained blind, still cheering the ghost Sarah had created. Emily cried, "They never loved me, they loved your invention." The weight of betrayal bent her shoulders low. Emily thought, "I was erased, even from my own story." Emily shouted, "Every post they adored wasn't mine. It was yours, Sarah." Her body trembled with fury. Michael muttered, "You built her up only to break her down." His hands dragged across his face in disbelief. Sarah sneered, "I gave them a goddess, not the fragile little girl you are." Olivia whispered, "This isn't help. It's cruelty dressed as success." The fans cheered blindly, praising perfection that wasn't real. Emily said, "You made me into something I can never live up to." Her voice cracked as tears blurred her sight. Emily thought, "I was erased while the applause grew louder." Emily shouted, "You weren't my ally, Sarah, you were my executioner." Her voice cracked under the weight of fury and despair. Michael said, "This is sabotage, not guidance." His jaw tightened as his fists shook. Sarah laughed coldly. "The crowd didn't want you, Emily, they wanted my version of you." Olivia cried softly, "You broke her just to build yourself an empire." The fans continued their blind devotion, oblivious to the collapse backstage. Emily's voice dropped to a whisper, "You stole my life and sold it to strangers." Her chest felt like it might split in two. Emily thought, "I was never enough for them, so Sarah made me into a ghost." Emily said, "The person they worship online isn't me. She's a fiction Sarah created." Michael's fists shook as he shouted, "You manipulated every breath she took." His face burned with rage. Sarah hissed, "And still they love her more than they'll ever love you." Olivia whispered, "Emily, you are real, and that's what matters." The fans roared with delight, still blind, still adoring the ghost. Emily whispered, "I am a shadow in my own skin, and Sarah holds the strings." The walls seemed to close in, as she realized her identity was no longer hers to claim. Emily thought, "I am trapped in an invention I never made." Emily whispered, "The person you adored was never me." Her voice trembled like glass about to shatter. Michael said, "Tell them the truth before it destroys you." His urgency carried sorrow. Sarah sneered, "Confess, and they'll abandon you because they don't want Emily, they want the ghost." Olivia cried, "Let them see the real you, even if it burns everything down." The fans screamed louder, hungry for content, blind to the chaos. Emily said, "The mask was yours, Sarah, but the ashes will be mine to carry." Her shoulders sagged as exhaustion consumed her. Emily thought, "The ghost is stronger than me, and I don't know how to kill her." Emily screamed, "I can't breathe in this mask anymore." Her voice cracked as millions watched through glowing screens. Michael shouted, "Stop before you destroy yourself completely." Sarah laughed coldly, "You're already destroyed. I just helped speed it up." Olivia cried, "Emily, you're bleeding for people who don't care if you live or die." The fans erupted with cruel comments, turning love into knives. Emily slammed her fists on the table, tears staining her cheeks. She whispered, "The cancellation didn't break me, the silence did." The weight of emptiness crushed her chest. Emily thought, "I was their empire, now I'm their feast." Emily whispered, every smile was a lie, every laugh rehearsed. The words cut from her throat like broken glass. Michael slammed his hand against the wall and yelled, "They will bury you if you let them." Sarah sneered, "They already have. You're just too weak to see it." Olivia whispered, "You don't have to burn for them, Emily, you deserve peace." The fans swarmed in digital rage, their adoration evaporating into venom. Emily shook violently, her voice trembling. "The silence after their screams is what kills me." Emily thought, "I am drowning in echoes." Emily shouted, "I am not your ghost, I am not your puppet." Her voice shook as the room pulsed with tension. Michael said, "Fight back, Emily, before she erases you forever." Sarah hissed, "They don't want you, they want the perfect fiction I created." Olivia cried, "Emily, you are enough, even if the world refuses to see it." The fans' chants blurred into chaos, their love turning to ridicule. Emily's chest heaved as she screamed, "The mask is choking me, and I want to rip it off." Emily thought, "But what if there's nothing underneath?" Emily whispered, "The empire I built is crumbling under my feet." She dropped her phone, the screen shattering on the floor. Michael shouted, "Let it die, Emily, before it drags you into the grave with it." Sarah snarled, "Without me, you're nothing, and without them, you'll vanish." Olivia pleaded, "Let them go, Emily, find yourself in the ashes." The fans screamed online, desperate for more blood, more chaos, more spectacle. Emily cried out, "I am a carcass dressed in filters." Emily thought, "This storm is mine, and it will bury me alive." Emily said, "The collapse isn't loud, it's suffocating silence." She clutched her chest as tears blurred her vision. Michael whispered, "You're stronger than this storm, Emily." Sarah smirked, "No, she's already gone, just another ghost to feed the crowd." Olivia sobbed, "Please don't disappear, Emily, please." The fans howled louder, digital voices demanding a spectacle of her ruin. Emily screamed, "I don't want to be their queen anymore, I want to be real." Emily thought, but real might mean vanishing into nothing. Emily whispered, "The empire is ash now, and all I can taste is smoke." Her body shook as silence replaced the roar of adoration. Michael said, "Let the ruins stand, Emily, you don't need to rebuild them." Sarah sneered, "Without the mask, you're nothing, just a forgotten name." Olivia pleaded, "Even in ruins, you are still Emily, and that's more than the ghost could ever be." The fans had quieted, their voices drifting into indifference, their hunger finding fresher prey. Emily said, "I thought I wanted to be remembered, but now I just want to be real." She breathed slow, heavy breaths, fragile but alive. Emily thought, "The silence feels different now. Lonely, but honest." Emily said, "The ghost they loved is gone, and maybe she should stay buried." Michael whispered, "Then let her rest. Don't dig her up again." Sarah muttered, "They'll never forgive you for killing her." Olivia said softly, "They don't have to forgive you. You have to forgive yourself." The fans' absence felt louder than their screams had ever been. Emily sat in the quiet, hands trembling, realizing this was the first time she wasn't performing. She said, "I thought silence was my death, but maybe it's my rebirth." Emily thought, This emptiness might be freedom. Emily whispered. The screen doesn't own me anymore, but I'm afraid of who I am without it. Michael said, you're still here, and that's more than enough. Sarah spat without them. You're invisible, a shadow fading. Olivia said, Emily, even in the shadows, you are real. The fans had vanished, leaving only digital dust where their voices once were. Emily's hands shook, but she felt a strange weight lifting from her chest. She said, I don't know who I am without the mask, but maybe it's time to find out. Emily thought, the ghost is gone, and maybe I can breathe again. Emily said, for so long, I wanted millions to love me, but their love was poison. Michael answered, one voice of truth is worth more than a million lies. Sarah snapped, they'll forget you, and you'll regret letting go. Olivia whispered, let them forget. It's time you remember yourself. The fans no longer haunted her, their hunger moved on. Emily breathed slow, her chest easing for the first time in years. She said, I don't want to be their goddess, I want to be Emily again. Emily thought, if I am forgotten, at least I will be free. Emily whispered, the ghost they loved is gone, and I will not resurrect her. Michael said, then you've already won, Emily. Sarah hissed, they will erase you, and you'll fade like you never existed. Olivia whispered, better to vanish in truth than to live in a lie. The fans had already moved on, their silence final, their love gone. Emily said, I thought I wanted to be remembered, but now, I only want to be real. Her voice was slow, heavy, filled with fragile clarity. Emily thought, this is my ending, but it's also my beginning. Emily whispered, the silence has become my final companion. She stared at the screen one last time, her reflection fractured. Michael said, you don't owe them anything anymore. Sarah smirked without them, you're nothing but dust in the wind. Olivia whispered, Emily, being forgotten might be the truest freedom you'll ever know. The fans no longer filled the void. Their voices had dissolved into static. Emily said, the ghost is gone, and I am all that's left. Her chest tightened as a tear slipped down her cheek. Emily thought, this ending feels inevitable, but it's mine to claim. Emily said, they built me up as their queen, but now they don't care if I vanish. Michael muttered, good, let them move on, you don't need their chains. Sarah hissed, they never wanted you, only the ghost I gave them. Olivia said, Emily, you're more than their addiction, you're a soul searching for light. The fan's absence pressed against the walls like a cold wind. Emily said, I thought fame was survival, but it was slow death. Her breathing slowed as she let go of the need to perform. Emily thought, I will not wear the mask again. Emily whispered, I sold myself for their applause, and now I'm taking myself back. Michael said, then you're free at last. Sarah laughed bitterly, free? You're just forgotten, a ghost without a stage. Olivia whispered, being real is worth every shadow you'll walk through. The fans' indifference was louder than their adoration had ever been. Emily said, I don't want their stage anymore. I want my silence. The room felt heavy, but lighter than the lies that once suffocated it. Emily thought, this silence is my rebirth, sharp but true. Emily said, I thought I wanted to be immortal, but immortality is just another cage. Michael replied, then break it, Emily, and walk away. Sarah hissed, walk away and you'll vanish into nothing. Olivia whispered, vanishing is not death. It's freedom. The fans had already forgotten, their hunger feeding elsewhere. Emily whispered, the world doesn't need me to exist, but I need me to survive. She exhaled slowly, a release of years of weight. Emily thought, this is my release, and it is final. Emily whispered, and that's why you'll never see me online again. Michael closed his eyes, letting silence honor her words. Sarah sneered, run then, fade away like the nothing you are. Olivia whispered, Emily, you are free now, and that is everything. The fans never heard the final confession. It belonged only to the quiet. Emily said, this is my last post, my last lie undone. Her voice trembled, sharp as broken glass. Emily thought, The curtain has fallen, and there will be no encore.